Hey, how's it going guys? Captain Kuba here, and today I decided to tackle a topic you guys have been wanting me to talk about for a while. I know you guys have been requesting a full storyline prediction for God of War Ragnarok, but I found out really early that writing a story for a game is not easy, so instead I decided to make a top 5 story predictions for the game. I'm still not sure how these 5 events would link together to make a coherent plot, but I still think these events will happen in one way or another. With that said, I have ranked these 5 predictions in the order I believe they will take place in the story. These predictions are just that, predictions. I don't actually have any official knowledge of leaks of any kind, and I'm not associated with Santa Monica Studios in any way, although I wish I was. Despite the rumors going around, I have not been speaking with Cory Barlog. The only interactions I've had with him is a few likes on my tweets and a comment he left in one of my videos. That's it. With that said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more God of War content such as theories, lore videos, and top 10 such as these. So with that out of the way, let's begin with my first prediction. Santa Monica Studios has made a name for themselves for starting their God of War games with amazing boss battles. Whether it's making players face huge enemies like the Colossus or a high-ranking god like Baldur, they always deliver. That's why I believe the first boss fight of the next game will be against Thor, the Norse thunder god. However, in this battle Kratos will not come out on top like he always does. I predict he will lose and die to Thor. But since the Valkyries are now free to do their job, they will take Kratos to Valhalla, which is pretty much heaven or paradise in Norse mythology. But this won't matter too much because Kratos has visited and escaped the Greek underworld many times, and he will escape Valhalla as well. Not only do I believe visiting Valhalla will rank as one of the best moments in the series, but I also think it's a necessity, because by the end of the last game, most of us have spent all of our XP points into leveling up Kratos. So Santa Monica Studios has to find a way of getting rid of all that process in order for the game to feel balanced. Killing Kratos at the beginning of the game will do the trick nicely and will also give players a close look at the sacred halls of Valhalla.
The time draws near.
Now, with the announcement of God of War Ragnarok, I've had to change when to place this next prediction. Before the announcement, I thought the event of Ragnarok would begin at the end of the game, but with this new title, I'm inclined to believe it will happen somewhere around the middle of the story or even the beginning. But the question of how the event of Ragnarok will happen still remains to be answered. Luckily for us, Mimir gave us a hint exactly how the event of Ragnarok will begin. While looking for Thamur's chisel, Mimir tells Kratos how the Vanir gods ceased using their magics to control time because doing so did not stop the wolves Skoll and Hati from catching the sun and the moon. And as I'm sure you know, when the wolves catch the sun and the moon, the event of Ragnarok begins. So my prediction is simple. I believe a Vanir deity will stop time, resulting in the wolves catching the sun and the moon, and thus starting Ragnarok. As to which Vanir deity will cause Ragnarok, I don't know. It could be Freya since she's seeking vengeance against Kratos after he killed her son. But I'm more inclined to believe it's her brother Freyr, ruler of the Vanir gods. The reason I believe it will be him is because he's teased in a note left by the Light Elves that can be picked up whenever Kratos and Atreus return to Alfheim. Perhaps Freyr is what the Dark Elf King was referring to moments before he died. In any case, I still believe the event of Ragnarok will be caused as a result of a Vanir deity stopping time. This next prediction goes out to all of my OG God of War fans, because I predict that Kratos and Atreus will visit Greece in the next game. Previously I've talked about the harpies that can be seen in the 1-year anniversary PS4 theme of God of War. I've always considered them to be symbolic harpies representing the return of the Greek realm in the next game. On top of that, I'm also predicting we'll see a very different Greece compared to the one from the first games, one ruled by humans and not gods. In this realm, scientific knowledge would be valued more than magic or the worshipping of deities. As a result, the remaining Greek gods will become weaker until they eventually cease to exist. Now, the reason why Kratos and Atreus are going back, I'm not too sure, but I believe it has something to do with the object here is seen given the Greeks in this painting. Or hey, maybe Kratos has a reason to believe the Blade of Olympus could serve him well against someone like Thor or Odin. Visiting Greece also makes sense from a character building perspective. As you saw in God of War 4's ending, Kratos kinda told Atreus about his life in Greece, but he left out one important detail: the death of his first family. Going back to Greece will provide Atreus with the perfect setting to ask Kratos questions about his past, and in the process, giving us some emotional cutscenes.
Somebody just called the Serpent.
So apparently a while back I made a theory video and did not credit the person responsible for coming up with it. My girlfriend. You may know her as Kanaruhi from my livestreams. In any case, this time I will not make the same mistake, because this next prediction comes straight from the mind of Kanaruhi. She has convinced me the person who blew the horn is not Tyr, not Modi, not Faye, but the player. What I mean by this is that, at some point in the story of the next game, we will have to travel through time in order to correct something that has gone seriously wrong. Inevitably, we will travel back in time to the events of God of War 4 to communicate with Jormungandr. From this new vantage point, Kratos and Atreus will see their past selves getting on a boat and traveling to Freya's home. Then present Kratos and Atreus will blow the horn and talk to Jormungandr. I believe Kratos and Atreus will tell Jormungandr to drop their past selves in front of the giant Thamur. This is why Kratos questions the snake's action in the first game.
A dead giant. Why would the Serpent leave us here?
I'm guessing dropping them here would be the only way for Kratos and Atreus to be successful against Baldur, similar to Doctor Strange not being able to tell Tony if the battle against Thanos would be won. But this is just a theory. If you think you have a better one, make sure to leave it in the comment section below.
Yes, we are.
First of all, I have to remind John Ford that we have a $50 bet going on to see who the man in the mural is. Don't think you're gonna get away from paying me so easily, buddy. In any case, my fellow God of War YouTuber believes the man in the mural is Mimir, while I believe this man is Tyr. The reason why I don't think this man is Mimir, Sindri, Brock, or anyone else who's not Tyr is because whoever dies in this moment will change the landscape of the Norse realm. I know Mimir and Sindri are important characters, but if they were to die, life in the Norse realm would continue as if nothing happened. But if someone like the Norse God of War were to die, well, that would have some serious implications for the Norse realm. But I know what you're thinking. Couldn't this be Kratos? And to that I say, you're falling for Cory Barlog's misdirection. If this man was truly Kratos, then he would have designed the mural in a way that would make you doubt it was actually him. Furthermore, you can't really see his red tattoos, which are his main identifiers, and even the man's skirt is different. Also, isn't it odd that the wall where his hand should be has chipped off, making it seem like he's missing a hand? Doesn't that description sound familiar to someone we know? Look, I know aside from the missing hand, I don't have any evidence for believing this is Tyr, since I don't know what he looks like, but I do have a ton of evidence for not believing this is Sindri, Mimir, or even Kratos. For these reasons, I predict the man in the mural will be Tyr. So there you have it guys, my top 5 predictions for God of War Ragnarok. There were a lot more topics I wanted to mention, like Kratos and Atreus meeting Fenrir, or Odin dying at the end of the game. But the truth is, I don't believe these theories as much as I believe the ones I talked about in this video. Once again, I have to repeat, these are just predictions and nothing more. But if I do get them right, well, I'm sorry in advance for spoiling the game. With that said, I want to thank all of my awesome members for their monthly support of the channel. People like Suraj, Shay Swaisa, and Chase Brannan to name a few, make sure I have enough money to buy games for my live streams, recording software, consoles. I really couldn't do this without your support. I would also like to thank all of my subscribers for getting the channel to where it is right now. If it wasn't for you liking and sharing my videos, my channel wouldn't be as big as it is right now. With that said, thanks for watching, and remember, go forth in the name of Ragnarok.